So the gap between the wealthiest and those at the bottom of this country, always, at odds with each other, is always kind of growing. The tension over social issues mounts over and over, and it's always capitalism that comes under attack. In fact, Bridgewater Associates founder Ray Dalio warning our own Maria Bartiromo this morning that capitalism may need to be rejiggered.
I think that there's a question, justifiable question, of whether capitalism is working adequately for the majority of people. I think that there needs to be reformation. But when you're taking then income taxes, yes, there should be, there needs to be a redistribution, but there needs to be a redistribution of opportunity.
Back with me to discuss, David Nelson and Michael Block. All right, David Nelson, what are your thoughts?
You know, it's odd to me that every time somebody becomes a billionaire, they suddenly want to rejigger the system for everyone else. Look, we can always make it better, but compared to every other system on the planet, capitalism is the holy grail. I think what gets lost on academics, and even guys like Ray, is the object shouldn't be equal outcomes. It should be equal opportunity. That's what we should strive for. If we go that way, I'm all in.
You know, it's funny that Ray Dalio makes these comments from Davos where a cup of coffee costs $50. You know, I would have preferred he made it in Bridgeport. To be fair, just talk about Ray Dalio. He does give a lot of money to charity. He's made the pledge with the Gates Foundation. He gives a lot of money to education in Connecticut. And I think that's a great way to think about this. If you give money to proper education, whether it's of students, young people, or you incentivize corporations to spend more on training for their workers, that is a tax cut well spent. Raising taxes, Herman Cain made reference to it earlier. People will leave the country. Probably a guy like Ray Dalio won't leave. Because he's operating from a position of strength. But people will, our friend Art Laffer would agree, right. Marginal utility goes down, and it's not going to work. But
we are the most generous country, and we do have billionaires who are making these sort of these donations, and it feels like it's got to be something a little bit different. Again, for me, I think one of the biggest problems in this country is K through 12 education. Honestly, I think this is where people are disadvantaged, because you talk about equal opportunities. If you're unprepared for that opportunity, if you say, hey, go run the hurdles tomorrow, and I've never cleared the hurdles, I've never wore a pair of sneakers because I wasn't prepared for it, then you gave me the opportunity and I failed. But I think we're preparing young people, particularly poor people, in the wrong way in this country.
I would agree, and we're going to have to probably maybe rejigger the system to that end. But wealth is portable, and the wealth and the capital will leave this country. It's happening in Ray's own state. I live in Connecticut. I work in Connecticut. The number of companies that are leaving are taking the jobs with them.
You said maybe capitalism could be tweaked. Like how?
Look, there are things inside corporate structure that I take issue with. I take issue with things like, staggered boards that keep somebody in power far longer than they should be. I take issue with stock options that are just, really a way of just taking capital from the individual shareholders and putting it in the hands of the few. I disagree with that. There are things that can be made better, yes.
I've been saying since the new tax bill was passed in December 2017, Charles, that I didn't like the way it was done. To me, tax cuts shouldn't just be given out willy-nilly. They shouldn't be automatic. They should be tied to putting money into research to raise productivity, which is going to get workers' wages higher, not just to fund stock buybacks and malinvestment and things like that. I was saying that over and over. I remember saying that to Trish in this very studio, and that's where I'm coming out. In terms of the redistribution of opportunity that David alluded to and Mr. Dalio alluded to. Heck, last week I went with my wife and she taught second grade class. She taught them about the poetry of Pablo Neruda. Now, does that help you program a computer? No, but it opens up the young minds. It's something everyone can do here. You have a little time, spend it with kids. Teach them how to do things. Get them going. Make them happy. It's exciting. It's good. It's our duty.
And I think it's incumbent to caution anyone out there who thinks that there's a better system, that there's not. You can argue that, we've evolved, the world's evolved, inputs like computers, artificial intelligence, that's evolved. So maybe we could, quote unquote, make
putting
some tweaks.
the words democratic in front of socialism doesn't make it a better system.
But there's nothing better than the system that we have. We can perhaps improve it, though.
Let's hand out opportunities.
All right, let's do that.
That's what we should
David,
do.
Michael, thank you both very much.